The opinions expressed in the following paid program do not necessarily represent those of WJFK, CBS Radio, its employees, or sponsors.
This is Patrick Mullins, and you're listening to TerpTalk with Bruce Posner.
This is Viner Consulting TerpTalk, 60 minutes of Maryland Terrapins news and commentary, and your phone calls at 866-950-5225. Now from the CBS Radio studios in Baltimore, here are the hosts of TerpTalk, Bruce Posner and Wayne Viner.
The 10, the 5, and a touchdown for C.J. Brown. 49 yards with that run.
It was more than a 10-yard run, Wayne, okay?
And I was out there, and it was pretty to see in person.
How exciting was that game to be down there for the last ACC game, a victory, and albeit a huge victory?
I think it was a great day for Maryland football. You got to look at a team. We finally got out to a lead. We were able to dominate the game, and we were able to close somebody out. There was no drama at the end. It was a nice way to say goodbye because NC State's, although they were very pleasant on Saturday, they've had some tough fans for the Terps over the years and some tough losses down there as well.
All right, it's quiz time. But before I give you the quiz, this is Bruce Posner and Wayne Viner here on Viner Consulting Terp Talk. Big weekend for Maryland. Huge game today out in California. Can you imagine? I got coverage out there today.
I'm surprised you're here and not there.
All right. Palo Alto Paul is out there covering the game for me and got credentials, and we'll have some good audio, hopefully, of a victory.
Right. Maryland at Calladay, 4:30 Eastern Time.
Into the Final Four. And it is on free TV on the Cal website. So if you want to watch, it is on free TV on the Cal website. But let's get back to the quiz. All right. I went out to eat last night with one of my sponsors in Baltimore of Terp Talk, and that's my friend Mark Apple. And he gave me the quiz, and I got the answer right. All right. Now, and I agree with him. Now, it's a matter of opinion. But here's the quiz. The biggest play of the year for Maryland football this year was, think for a minute.
Missed field goal against Virginia.
Now,
Virginia missed the kick at the end of the game.
That probably would be number 2 or 3, probably 3. The biggest play of the year this year was the cheap hit inflicted upon C.J. Brown by Jacoby McDaniel of Florida State. Why? We don't know what this team would have done with a healthy C.J. Brown.
Well, C.J. Brown being healthy over the past couple of weweeks really
he wasn't healthy against Syracuse.
Wake Forest.
All right. Wake Forest. Now, he was coming back, and it's kind of like people are saying, well, Dennis Pitt is coming back tomorrow. We're back. Dennis Pitt is not going to come back 100%. You don't come back from an injury, and you don't come back from, what did he have, a sternum problem,
I had a
CJ?
concussion, a sternum problem, undisclosed upper body injury. It's like a hockey game.
When you look at how C.J. Brown played last week, all right, and you look about how he played against Virginia Tech, you say, well,
you can win with that guy.
Well, there were a few games we could have won. All right. And I'm not saying you look at Wake Forest, we got beat bad. With Syracuse, it was horrendous, okay?
I don't want to come off as a Randy apologist.
It's not an apologist. It's a fact.
Well, I'm not saying you. I'm saying me, because the first thing I'm going to say is it takes a while to build a team that has some real depth. And he's been building. We're getting there. We lost all these receivers, and we still won some games. We lost 8 guys off the defense, and we still stuck in these games. The team as a whole is getting better. But no, we don't really have a backup quarterback that's as good as C.J. Brown. We don't have 6 receivers that are as good as Stephon Diggs, and maybe we never will. But we're building a team that's getting better overall.
But listen, the loss of Stephon Diggs was devastating, and Deion Long, no question about it. But they moved on. They moved on from that loss. Okay, maybe Amba Ed had dropped some balls, and maybe it took a while for Nigel King to get open. But I'm telling you that injury to CJ could have prevented this from being a great year. And, if you wonder about injuries to quarterbacks, take a look at the Packers, all right, without Aaron Rodgers. But you know what? And this is no knock to Caleb, because Caleb had a good game. Was at Virginia. He played the entire game, right?
I believe so.
Yes.
He beat Virginia. And we were in the other games with Caleb. Yeah. It's not like he's a tremendous step down. It's just that the whole offense is set up around having a triple threat quarterback. And
CJ was great last week. It's that simple. 3 TDs, 3 TDs rushing, pass for 2. He was co-ACC Player of the Week, and hats off to CJ Brown.
And it's nice in our last ACC game to have a co-ACC Player of the Week. CJ Brown now has the 2 highest single-season rushing totals for a Maryland quarterback all time. So that's pretty good.
It's funny, I was watching this kid from Northern Illinois last night. Did you watch any of that game?
No. I actually went out to a sponsor myself. I was out at Mervis Diamonds for their annual diamond event last night.
Okay, great. So I'm watching this kid Lynch from Northern Illinois, who's up for who might be one of the Heisman finalists. We know who's going to win the Heisman, but he might be one of the Heisman finalists. Now, obviously, he had a bad game, all right, because they got killed, and they were undefeated at the time. But I'm looking at him, same kind of quarterback like CJ, with a lot of running, a lot of read option, a lot of short passing to the corners or whatever. But CJ opened up last week, and he threw some bombs out there that were on the money. I thought he had a super game.
Yeah, there were a couple balls that could have been caught that just weren't in the end. Could have been a fantabulous game. So he was just really super good.
To those of you listening out there wondering why we haven't talked about the other major sport at Maryland, we'll get to it later. But that's another story for another day. I'm actually going out there for the press conference today at 12, whatever it was. Don't get many opportunities to go. So
you're taking the basketball loop today and tomorrow.
Yes.
And I'm still doing college football. And tomorrow I'm going to go out and see did the Redskins win a game at all this year?
I don't know.
3-9 Redskins host the 9-3 Chiefs tomorrow.
Did you catch any of the John Feinstein interview the other day?
No, you relate it to me almost word for word. I still want to go back and listen to Wednesday's show. And anybody who didn't hear it on Wednesday, we're going to get the show audio up with Feinstein?
Yes, definitely. I might even have it now. But it was great. John Feinstein he's just an unbelievable, what's the right word? I guess when you write 32 books, you really can express yourself. And when you interview with John Feinstein, he's got the upper hand the entire time.
Well, I often have heard him speak on the Tony Kornheiser show, which is on another station in D.C. And Bruce and Feinstein, that's a good matchup. I still got my money on Bruce, but I heard it was close on Wednesday night.
Well, we got into it a little bit about Randy, and I told him how much I liked him, except his inset. But then he attacks everybody. In fairness to him, he praises no one.
And he went after Saban something vicious in the Washington Post.
Saban? And what do you mean Meyer?
Meyer, I'm sorry.
Oh, what he said about Meyer, what made his comments about Randy look mild. But he doesn't have it right. And it's hard to explain to somebody who doesn't do Maryland every day of their lives like you and me do. But that's not worth talking about. It was a great interview. I really appreciated him coming on the show. But
that's what makes great radio, is he has an opinion that he's just not going to give up. He's going to win that argument somehow.
No, there's no doubt about it. And
he makes Freddie look easy on us.
Freddie tells it like it is, man. I appreciate that, and that's why he's a tremendous asset to the show. All right, now comes the big question. Where will the Terps go bowling?
Well, I'll go from an opportunity that looks lost now. The Pinstripe Bowl apparently has a deal with Notre Dame, so that'll take the Pinstripe Bowl on December 28th off the table. That would have been one I would have liked to have gone to. I think we said that on the air. That's at Yankee Stadium.
Right. It certainly would have been easy, but I'm just hoping this Military Bowl thing gets locked in. Isn't it up to Syracuse, though?
Well,
or is it up to the guy, Steve Beck?
Since Maryland finished within one game in the ACC of Syracuse, but has a better overall record or some magic there, it's going to be up to the bowl. Now, the bowl that gets to pick before the Military Bowl is the Independence Advocare 100 Bowl in Shreveport. That game is at 11 a.m. on December 31st in beautiful Shreveport, Louisiana. And then the 8th pick goes to the Military Bowl.
So you're saying if I met the guy. You know what his name is from the Advocare Bowl?
No, but you gave me a beautiful poster. Thank you.
All right. Pesky. That's his name, Pesky.
So would you
Real nice guy. Real nice guy.
If we go to Shreveport, I guess that's great. If we go to Annapolis, that's great. If they don't pick us in the ACC, it can work out to our financial benefit because the other 2 bowls that are still open would then be at-large bids, and that would be the Heart of Dallas Bowl, which is 11:30 on January 1st, and the Little Caesars Bowl, which is on 7 o'clock December 26th. So those are the 4 possibilities right now.
That's it. So it should be one of those 4. And is there a possibility we could get shut out?
I didn't do the math. I think mathematically there is a possibility, but you'd have to. I mean, Maryland will travel well enough to fill one of those slots.
Okay. Well, they'll buy enough tickets.
Buy enough tickets.
I'm concerned about the Shreveport. Not that there's anything wrong with Shreveport, but that kind of turns into an expensive trip.
It does. I talked to some of the players' parents, and without naming names, they were excited to go someplace else, that the kids would get to go someplace as opposed to just go to Annapolis. But I don't know. I guess it's just up to Dr.
It's out of their hands, right? It's out of their hands.
It's Anderson.
And the mere fact, listen, there's going to be a problem in the bowls this year. It's a fact. That
just selling tickets.
Yes, it's not just at Maryland. It's going to be everywhere. And a lot of it is economy related. That, to take, you and your wife to a bowl, you're talking in Shreveport, probably costs $3,000.
Wife and 2 kids to a bowl.
Well,
that's have to get back.
We're not talking about insanity. We're talking about that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. So it's hard. It's hard to get people to go to a bowl in College Park, go to a game in College Park.
Right.
So I don't know how many. So
they'll go to Annapolis though.
Yeah, I think that would be a good fit for Maryland. Now the bowl money goes to the ACC, and the ACC isn't giving Maryland any money apparently other than travel money. So they're going to pay for a bus fare from College Park to Annapolis, and
they don't pay the hotels.
They'll pay for the hotel, but as far as the bowl payout, which is supposed to be $1 million, that's all going to be tied up in the legal wrangling with the ACC.
And plus the fact the military bowl's on national TV on ESPN, and also recruit-wise, wow, you can bring them all in. And that would be a tremendous edge. You go to Shreveport, you can't bring anybody. So, and plus the fact, let's be real, all right? A game against East Carolina will be a high-scoring shootout where probably Maryland's might be a little bit favored over that team.
They could be. I mean, East Carolina plays a lot of ACC teams, and they've done okay with their ACC part of their schedule. Maybe even better than Maryland has, actually. And they're going to bring a lot of people. You can drive from Greenville, South Carolina, to come up. I believe that's where they are.
So we'll see what happens, but
I'll go back to being excited. I'm excited to go to a bowl, whether it's in Shreveport or Detroit or Dallas or Annapolis.
I'm excited they're in a bowl. I mean, and more than that, think about the extra month of practice that Randy gets, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, it's like an extra spring practice,
right? And day after day, go over reps, go over things, see guys move up a little bit.
And with all the freshmen and sophomores, it's really important to get as many reps as you can because practice isn't like it was 20 years ago. I mean, they really cut down the practice time. They've cut down the hitting. So the more practice you get, the better your team's going to be in the long run. And I think it was a great job to get your 7 wins. Yeah, it could have been 8. Maybe it could have been 9. But heck, 7's a start. We go to the Big Ten. And our first Big Ten road game is in the beginning of October at Indiana. So we got something to look forward to. And it's just trending up for Maryland. Yeah,
I agree. And overall, 7-5 season, I guess we would have taken it. I kind of always thought 8-4, but I never, I didn't see an injury, the kind of injuries we had. But every team has injuries. But
nobody has injuries like we have injuries.
It just seems like we've been snake bit with that. But did you hear about this kid? I'm trying to think. Marcus Applefield, 6'9", 270 pounds, 6'6", 270 from Florida. Seems like Randy wants this guy in the worst way. He's down to us in Rutgers, supposedly.
Right, and he was done to Rutgers, and then Rutgers has a lot of turmoil. I guess they lost too many games. They fired the offensive coordinator during the season, and now the guy's back on the market, and it looks like it's trending towards Maryland. And boy, that's going to put a heck of an offensive line on the field for next season. I mean, you got a bunch of freshmen, whether they play or not next season, whether red shirt or not, but it's a Big Ten offensive line we're going to have.
Here's a key thing. You know what city he's from? in Florida?
Same one as
Weeki Wachi, offensive tackle, Marcus Applefield. Virginia, Maryland, Purdue, Vanderbilt, and Rutgers. While continuing to listen to recruiting pitches. Let's see here, 1 p.m. on December 13th. And he's going to enroll right away. So he's enrolling in college early.
So it's a gray shirt, is what they call it.
Which is great.
So if you look at him and Mazik, and maybe you get Rubel, and the guys that they already have, Derwin Gray, you've got a better front line possibly on the football team than you have on the basketball team. I think Turgeon would like a 6'7", 290-pound guy as well.
Yeah, at this point, it certainly would help. You know, we'll talk about hoops after the break, and we'll break down that Ohio State game for about 3 minutes because there's there wasn't much positive out of that, and that's coming from the coach's mouth, not mine.
Yeah,
it was pretty sad day for that game, but you had to see it coming, and certainly that Aaron Kraft.
Oh, that kid!
You reverse that one kid, turn him around on Maryland, and you get a kid like that. He just makes it happen. Everything he does is right.
He's a guy that you want with the ball in his hands, steals. He makes last-second shots. He's a human highlight reel for a point guard.
3 big games today before we hit the break. Let's talk about Florida State and Duke right now with Jameis Winston being cleared of all charges. I can't even imagine what that score is going to be. I mean, Duke's offense can move the ball a little bit, but people sell Florida State's defense short. Only one guy made it happen against them this year, and that was Andre Williams. All right, at Boston College. Right. Remember, me and you were misled when Boston College scored all those points against them.
Boston College can run that ball, and they could run it against Florida State as well.
Well, I don't know.
So 8 o'clock tonight on ABC, you've got the miracle of Duke at 10-2 against what seems to be an unstoppable force of Florida State.
By 9 o'clock, if you want to turn that game on in the second half, the game will be over. All right, so by 9 o'clock, that game will be done. I would be surprised if Jimbo Fisher doesn't pile it up or let Jameis Winston play a little bit longer to try and help the Heisman vote.
And the Heisman vote's December 9th, which is Monday. Yeah, you could get 60 points out of Florida State.
You always get 60 out of Florida State. I mean, Duke's
Do you think the Chargers are going to have anything to do with his mental ability to be ready to play this game?
I think that whole team has to be ready to jump out on the field and just go nuts after what they've been through. Look, he played through it with the cloud hanging over his head.
Right.
And he never stopped. But we have to stop because we got to head out to our first break. Before we do, Meyer Consulting Engineers is a professional organization specializing in structural engineering, parking consultation, construction material testing and inspection, and related professional service for the construction industry. If you are building a commercial or governmental project, contact Meyer Consulting for an in-depth project review. In the past 5 years, Meyer Consulting has successfully completed over 1,000 commissions across the U.S., the Pacific Rim, and Commonwealth of Independent States. Meyer Consulting Engineers offers a proven superior record for on-time performance and quality, cost-effective engineering design. That's Meyer Consulting. They're at 301-738-5690 over in Rockville. That's 301-738-5690. It's Bruce Posner and Wayne Viner for Viner Consulting Terp Talk, and we'll be back in just a few moments. We are pleased to welcome Kelly & Associates Insurance Group to the Terp Talk family. For more than 35 years, Kelly & Associates Insurance Group has been known as the region's premier group insurance administrator, broker, and consultant specializing in healthcare. Kelly is also able to provide your organization with an integrated payroll solution through KTBS Payroll. The leader in benefits is now the leader in payroll too. To learn more about how Kelly and KTBS Payroll can provide your organization with a total benefits solution, contact them today at 800-972-7227. Kelly, one of the most trusted names in benefits, now offers payroll. KTBS Payroll provides a payroll solution that utilizes their innovative technology for greater accuracy, administrative efficiency, and compliance with regulatory requirements, such as the new Patient Protection and Affordable Care Acts. KTBS Payroll features management tools, reports, and services that relieve you of the details while giving you better control, ensuring you remain in compliance. experience. Call KTBS today at 888-882-1487 to learn more about their integrated solution for payroll and benefits through KTBS Payroll. Listen up. If you want crabs, you have to head to the Costas Inn on North Point Boulevard. There is no comparison in all of Maryland for the greatest crabs and crab cakes ever. Costas also serves unbelievable steamed shrimp, Greek salads, and steaks for lunch and dinner. Nick, Pete, and Costas Triantopoulos run the perfect restaurant to go with family and friends. Give Costas Inn a call at 410-477-1975 and tell them the Terp Talk guy sent you. Terp Talk is proud to welcome Glen Burnie Transmissions as a new sponsor. Located at 7166 Ritchie Highway in Glen Burnie. For over 50 years, Glen Burnie Transmissions offers free towing from the D.C. area. Transmissions for all imports and domestics. Go to www.gbt-online.com for a quotation or call President Mark Schwartzman at 800-458-2661. That's 800-458-2661, Glen Burnie Transmissions.
Hi, I'm Johnny Holiday. I've seen a lot of great teams over the years, but not as good as the legal team at the Jacklish Law Group. Every single lawyer at the Jacklish Law Group is ranked in the top 1% of personal injury lawyers in the entire country, and we're honored yet again by Super Lawyers magazine. So if you've been injured in a truck, car, or train crash, get that great team working for you. Call the Jacklish Law Group 301-627-8700. Can't spell Jacklish? Try www.smallfirmbigdogs.com.
Viner Consulting helps you get the most out of your business technology. We develop a technology plan for your business. There is much more than the run-of-the-mill break and fix service you are probably used to getting from your local IT tech. This is a real plan to move you forward, to bring in the latest technology at the best prices, strong support services, and a vision to lay out where you want your company to be down the road. And best of all, the plan is free to your company. Let us come and help you build your future today. Viner Consulting is a proud Microsoft partner, a Lenovo partner, and an HP partner. Conveniently based in Rockville, we service the Baltimore, Washington area. You can reach us at 240-599-0140 or on the web at www.vinerconsulting.com. Atman's Delicatessen has finally expanded into the Potomac area. Created originally in Baltimore in 1915, it's been a long time, but the best deli in the nation has come to the Washington area. Everyone is ecstatic that now you can find Atman's Deli at Tuckerman Lane in the Cabin John Shopping Center. Mark Atman, a tremendous Terp fan, brings his tremendous talents to the Washington area when it comes to delicatessen. Open from 8 to 8 for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Atman's features its corned beef and pastrami, but certainly has all the great deli food available. Call 301-765-3354 for catering or to order ahead. That's Atman's Deli, 301-765-3354 in the Cabin John Shopping Center.
Attention business owners. Circumstances force the best of businesses to ask callers to wait. KO Productions on-hold messages turn those wasted seconds into customer awareness, service, consideration, and your own profitability. Not even Alexander Graham Bell could do as much for your telephone as we can. Get complete details at koponhold.com, koponhold.com, or call Freddie from Boca at 800-229-9969, 800-229-9969.
Access Title Company, LLC, brings to you experience, relationship, and peace of mind. All great reasons to choose Access Title Company as your residential and commercial real estate settlement company. Choosing a reputable, experienced title company is crucial to a smooth settlement process. Our staff of attorneys and experienced personnel is committed to helping you through the complete process, with personal attention, competitive rates, and prompt service. Access Title Company goes anywhere in the state of Maryland to perform your settlement at no additional cost to you. That's why we're Access Title. Please call Melanie, our operations manager, at 410-363-8785 for additional information. That's Access Title Company at 410-363-8785.
You're listening to Viner Consulting Terp Talk. Join the conversation at 866-950-5225. Once again, Bruce Posner and Wayne Viner.
This is Seth Allen. You're listening to Terp Talk with Bruce Posner.
All right, back here on segment 2 of Viner Consulting Terp Talk. Time for me to take a moment to tell you about Viner Consulting. Viner Consulting helps make more money for your business, Wayne. All right.
I've heard that.
All right. Call them for IT and business help. Everything Viner does points you toward more success. Everyone has a guy, and Viner Consulting is that guy for help with accounting and inventory systems, marketing, website, or cloud services. And Viner is that guy for your computer network and internet needs. Viner Consulting and Wayne Viner is my guy for making the Terp Talk website go and making my business better without question. Call Wayne Viner to be that guy for your business, 301-251-2900, or on the web at makeyourcompanywork.com. Makeyourcompanywork.com. 301-251-2900. And Wayne, you got the message across. You are that guy. And
Bruce, thank you.
That guy was awful busy this week, I know, with problems and helping people out and consulting.
So, yeah, it's been a big week at Viner Consulting, and we're helping to push businesses forward, especially in this holiday season. We have a lot of retailers that are looking to do different things with their data and different things with their system. And last night, speaking of another sponsor, I was out at Mervis Diamond Importers. They had their big holiday diamond event. And, we're going to talk about Mervis here, but nobody pays retail anymore. Why should you? You can reach Mervis Diamond at 703-448-9000. If you're looking for a special gift, it's the diamond event going on Tyson's Corner. It was last night, Saturday, Sunday. You can get great deals, and the actual vendors are there. And if you want something different, something special, it's the place to go. So the Wizards finally get to 500, and what a big idea that was to have a 500 team. Usually the Wizards start 9-20. This year you start 8-8, and then you run into the Bucks last night. That's a team the Wizards beat in Milwaukee, and last night in overtime, they 109-105 losers. Couple guys get hurt, but wow. Can John Wall get that ball up and down the court? He went from somebody who was a little bit questionable as to what his future was going to be to somebody who looks like he's a superstar in the making. Nene's look good. Marcin Gortat's look good. Bruce, I know you follow every sport. What's your opinion on the Wizards and the immediate future?
I'm still positive. I still think they'll wind up, they'll push themselves to around 500. But, we'll see what happens. The Redskins, that's another story for another day. There's not much to say about that. But we do appreciate the support from Mervis Diamonds. Do we have Larry on the phone? All right, let's get Larry on the phone. Our good friend from the Old Line Bistro. Larry, you there?
Hey, Bruce.
Hey, Larry. How you doing, pal?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. So overall, pretty good Maryland football season. Would you agree?
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah, and hopefully they go to the bowl, and they might even get to that Annapolis Bowl, and then everybody can get their tailgate goods from the Old Line Bistro, correct?
Absolutely. That's right, Bruce. Thank you.
All right, we got any specials going over at Old Line Bistro?
Well, we've got all the holiday craft spirits in, craft beer, and some great holiday wine. And we've got a Sam Adams dinner coming up on Tuesday.
What is that? What is a Sam Adams dinner, Larry?
Sam Adams beer dinner. We're going to have 5 different beers from Sam Adams paired with 5 different dishes from prepared by Chef Justin.
Yeah, Chef Justin, everybody who's gone to there has told me how much they've enjoyed. They really like the food, and it's a great place to go to. At 11011 Baltimore Avenue on Route 1, check out the Old Line Bistro, and the food's great, the atmosphere's great, and if you need any beer or wines, there's no place better to go. Larry, thanks a lot for your sponsorship, and we'll talk to you soon.
Hey, Bruce, thank you, and tell everybody to go to oldlinewine.com to check us out.
All right, oldlinewine.com. I'll add that to my promo. Take care, Larry.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, let's get to the subject we might be been avoiding a little bit, and that's not the Redskins because that's an old subject, but a very, very disappointing loss on Wednesday. There's no other way to put it. I thought Charles Mitchell played great, and maybe that's where the story ends. Yeah. They were totally dominated by Ohio State. Now, look, Ohio State's the number 5 team in the country. It might be more than that, too. After looking at Kentucky last night and some of the other teams ahead of them, I'm not so sure they're number 5. They're an awful, awful good team.
Well, boy, it's hard not to almost go into panic mode. And the reason is, as the game evolved, you saw Ohio State starting to dominate Maryland in a way you don't want to see. It's not just on the scoreboard. The high-flying dunks, the fact that Ohio State was just taking the ball away from Maryland and beating them down the court. Maryland hasn't found a way to cut off the ball to the basket yet, even out of set plays. Guys dribbling in from around the three-point line and making layups. Something's just not right in College Park at the moment. I can't put my finger on it, but you start wondering about seeing a different lineup on the court. Maybe you throw in a Jonathan Graham or Varun Ram gets more minutes, or you got to do something at this point.
I thought Ohio State was terrific, said Coach Turgeon. They came out making shots. Of course, when that kid Ross comes off, it goes boom, boom, boom. But I can understand boom. Yeah. I kind of can understand the second boom, but after 2 times, you can't leave the guy open.
Right.
And for all intents and purposes, that was it. When he hit the 3 threes, I think they were up 18-12, and it got worse from there. We had a shot to close near half, and then that one-on-one play with Des Wells dribbling like getting stripped by Aaron Kraft. It was just, I don't know what to say, but I think the Des Wells point guard experiment it is not working.
No, it might make him a better player in the long run. He might look back on this and go, boy, I realized that I had to get better on the ball because when I tried to play point guard, it didn't work for me. So I went and I worked on that. And that's something you say 3 years into an NBA career, how this changed the way he looks at the game. But right now on the court for Maryland, it's not working. And it's taking your major off-the-ball weapon, the guy you want to get the ball to in a scoring situation. He's not there because he's playing point guard. So you're going to have to play Roddy or Varun. And when Seth Allen comes back, you have another option at the point, you would think. But people outside of Maryland who talk about basketball say that you can really see the difference when Varun Ram comes in the game, that people are getting the ball in the right spot. Now, whether Varun can actually play a lot of minutes, whether he can shoot well enough, whether he's big enough, sure, there's question marks there. But he gets the guys into the right set and the right time.
Look, let's start with Shaq. Shaq's production is down, all right? And Turgeon being loyal to one of his recruits, I think, is the main reason, is starting him. But I think Mitchell gets the starting role tomorrow, and I'm going to ask Mark that today. I do believe Mitchell will get the starting role, and I'll tell you why. We're getting out of the gate horrible. And a lot of it has to do with just not being able to score. I mean, this is game after game.
This is almost now into year after year. This was a problem last year. I thought we'd get fixed. Hasn't been fixed yet.
So Mitchell was excellent against Ohio State. 12 points, 11 rebounds, fought for every ball, scoring, rebounding. I think he'll get us off to a better start. Now, it also seems to me when Dez is off the point, he's more effective. You saw what he did in the second half. He was high flying. He was great. So what do? To me, you take Peters and Ram and even a little bit of Nick Faust and split that time up until you find a guy who's doing it right that day.
Mm-hmm.
Just my opinion. And listen, I've said it. I said it last year. I say it now. It's almost like if Jake Layman's not hitting his shot, we're not competitive. And Jake had a bad game. They guarded him to the point, but, I think you'll see some more double screens and double picks for Jake to get a shot because we need that to get us off. Smotrich has been a good supplement to Jake, but he's not as good a shooter as Jake is, I don't think.
He's not
he's
as
streaky. He's streaky.
And he's somewhat one-dimensional, which is if he's out there and he's open from 18, he's going to knock it down. He's not going to put the ball on the floor and go dunk it on somebody. That's a dimension that Layman brings. If you put him out on the edge and you get him the ball on time, if you run at him, he can get away from you and drive it all the way to the basket. Smotrich doesn't do that. Here's the problem before we go to our next break, and it's a problem. Play Drew W on Sunday. Now, maybe early, when the schedule was made, you're looking at like it's drop to G, that it's a W. Yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah. It's not a W. Oh, George Washington's playing really well. They're playing really well. Great game to go. If you people out there, I know you have your Redskin tickets. Although I think the Redskins will win tomorrow, believe it or not. But if the game's not good or if it's 0 degrees, take a journey down to Verizon. Tickets are relatively inexpensive. Sure. And you could take the Metro. So if the weather outside is frightful and you want to go someplace delightful. I didn't even think about that. I might take the Metro there tomorrow. Go to the Verizon Center on the Metro. What's the earliest point I can pick up the Metro? Coming from Baltimore, you probably go towards Greenbelt. I'll look it up. And then all you do is just one stop. You don't have to change, right? I think, I don't remember the Metro map as well as I remember the bowl schedule anymore. Okay. And you add about another 20 minutes to the trip. Sure, something like 20, that. 30 minutes. But you like to get there early and leave late. So you got a big window to hit. I just don't want to deal with the weather's bad and stuff like that. The Ravens play at 1 o'clock tomorrow. So I gave the tickets to my kids because I'm not missing the BB&T Classic. And right. John Feinstein has a lot to do with that. Did that come up on the show? Yes. That's what the call was about. Yeah. The call was about the promotion. It wasn't supposed to develop into a Randy Edsel attack from defense from me, an attack of him. But it was friendly. It wasn't, it was good spirited. But and it wasn't that long either. I just moved the subject away. But I had to say something to him. I think that his attacks are just unfair. Well, especially when the guy goes 7-5. Well, he's good at the ad hominem attack. He can attack anything at any time. Listen, he's a master of the word. All right. And he's a Dookie, of course. Well, he's an unbiased Dookie. He's not a guy who screams Duke all the time. No, but he got in trouble one time because Navy played Duke, and he went absolutely ballistic because he thought the game was stolen from Navy by the refs. And he got carried away, but it was just like you and me just did. This is Bruce Posner. We're heading out to break number 2 here on Viner Consulting Terp Talk. We'll be back here in just a few minutes on CBS Sports Radio. We are pleased to welcome Kelly & Associates Insurance Group to the Terp Talk family. For more than 35 years, Kelly & Associates Insurance Group has been known as the region's premier group insurance administrator, broker, and consultant specializing in healthcare. Kelly is also able to provide your organization with an integrated payroll solution through KTBS Payroll. The leader in benefits is now the leader in payroll too. To learn more about how Kelly and KTBS Payroll can provide your organization with a total benefits solution, contact them today at 800-972-7227. Kelly, one of the most trusted names in benefits, now offers payroll. KTBS Payroll provides a payroll solution that utilizes their innovative technology for greater accuracy, administrative efficiency, and compliance with regulatory requirements, such as the new Patient Protection and Affordable Care Acts. KTBS Payroll features management tools, reports, and services that relieve you of the details while giving you better control, ensuring you remain in compliance. Call KTBS today at 888-882-1487 to learn more about their integrated solution for payroll and benefits through KTBS Payroll. Terp Talk is proud to welcome Glen Burnie Transmissions as a new sponsor. Located at 7166 Ritchie Highway in Glen Burnie. For over 50 years, Glen Burnie Transmissions offers free towing from the D.C. area. Transmissions for all imports and domestics. Go to www.gbt-online.com for a quotation or call President Mark Schwartzman at 800-458-2661. That's 800-458-2661. Glen Burnie Transmissions.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes is touching millions of lives, one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been helping coaches and athletes on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels to fulfill their God-given potential. FCA is the largest Christian sports organization in America and focuses on serving local communities by equipping, empowering, and encouraging people to make a difference. To learn more about the FCA in your area, call Mark Stevens at 301-363-8611 or visit their website, metromdfca.org.
Have you been injured in a car accident by medical error while on the job or because of the fault of another? Are your medical payments and paperwork piling up, or are you out of work and losing wages that you can't afford to lose all because someone else was negligent? If so, get the representation and individual attention you deserve from the law firm of Grant Posner, 443-388-4777, or go to BeMoreLaw.com for your free consultation.
I'm Grant Posner. I began this firm with the belief that all clients should get the individual attention that they deserve. When you call my office, you deserve to speak directly to an attorney. Call today at 443-388-4777 or visit BeMoreLaw.com and schedule your free consultation with an attorney today. Get the individual attention and experience you deserve for all of your injury, traffic, or criminal legal needs. And don't forget, for personal injury cases, there are no legal fees or expenses unless we win. Call today, 443-388-4777 or BeMoreLaw.com.
Access Title Company, LLC, brings to you experience, relationship, and peace of mind. All great reasons to choose Access Title Company as your residential and commercial real estate settlement company. Choosing a reputable, experienced title company is crucial to a smooth settlement process. Our staff of attorneys and experienced personnel is committed to helping you through the complete process with personal attention, competitive rates, and prompt service. Access Title Company goes anywhere in the state of Maryland to perform your settlement at no additional cost to you. That's why we're Access Title. Please call Melanie, our operations manager, at 410-363-8785 for additional information. That's Access Title Company at 410-363-8785.
You're listening to Viner Consulting Terp Talk. Join the conversation at 866-950-5225. Once again, Bruce Posner and Wayne Viner.
This is Sasha Swarovski, and you're listening to Terp Talk with Bruce Posner.
All right, this is Bruce Posner back along here with my sidekick, Wayne Viner. It's kind of... You missed football already, not having a game today. I wish there was another game today.
I know. You were talking about the big games. There were two other championship games.
Yeah, let's get into our event on Monday before we talk about that. Because coming out to Abbott's Deli on Monday, we're going to have Travis Garrison and Don Marcus from the Sun Papers. We're actually going to be doing a live show. All right, a live show there. Well, actually, we'll be taping a live show.
Well, we'll be live.
We'll be live. We're going to tape it and play it on Wednesday and Saturday, some of it. And Travis, always interesting, give us his take on Maryland basketball, talk about his new book that's been a wild success.
Right.
And Don Marcus, of course.
Well, he's been covering Maryland for a long time. He's a steady voice that covers Maryland, but he's got some strong opinions as well.
Yeah, we'll do like a little bit of your review, and you get a chance to eat and taste the tremendous Atman's Deli food over there on
it's on
Tuckerman Lane in the Cabin John Shopping Center.
You got it.
That's Atman's. We'll be there start around 6:30, and if you're so moved, you can ask questions or whatever you want.
Sure, and you get to meet Bruce Posner in person.
And more important, you get to eat their food.
Right.
Okay, you get to eat their food, which is phenomenal. Open from 8 to 8. Abbott's features its corned beef and pastrami, but certainly has all the great deli food available. That's 301-765-3354. That's Monday night at Abbott's Deli. All right, let's get back. A couple things we want to take care of before we get to those games. No shock, Jill Whitmer from the field hockey team was named a Honda Award finalist. Will she win? Maybe because Maryland didn't win the title. Not sure. Ohio State and Terps put that one to sleep till next year. All right.
Right, but the women did beat Ohio State.
They beat them bad. They beat them a 12-point wire. Our women are doing great. Of course, that's no surprise to anybody. And, of course, today out at Cal, Maryland goes for a revenge game trying to get into the College Cup, which is not something that would be a first achievement for Sosh. They were there last year, lost to Georgetown as an unbeaten team on a very controversial ending, but that's soccer. But today, they're playing a team they lost to this year, and I had a chance to talk to Patrick Mullins. Do you have that on cue? About him coming back for the senior year. Of course, Patrick got the winning goal.
Right, and that video is up on TerpTalk.com.
Video's up on TerpTalk.com. Go ahead.
Your 4 years here, you had a big decision to make last year about going pro or not. Sitting here today, going into the Final Eight, how satisfying is that decision now?
Well, that decision will be more satisfying about 3 weeks when I graduate, which was a big part of that decision, so I'm on course to do that. But definitely, there was a lot of team-driven goals beyond that, and I'm excited. I had no doubt the guys coming in and the guys returning that we had the capability to do it, but, it's easier said than done, and I'm really excited to be heading out there. And it's the last game of Ludwig for a senior class, and the end of that era, but, we're not done yet. Our legacy at Maryland isn't through.
I'm going to tell you something about Patrick. He's going to be a success. You and me know that. He's going to be a star in the MLL and maybe play in Europe. This goalie is beyond belief, Zach Steffen. Patrick came up to me after the press conference and said, Mr. Posner, he said, I want to thank you for your coverage of the team. I really appreciate it. I really haven't any players say that to me. Yeah. Gravis did. But Patrick's...
One of the better videos that ever went up on Terp Talk was the home game to go to the Final Four last year.
Yes.
And
we got tremendous interviews.
response.
Patrick's a great guy. And, of course, Sean Mosley was great to the show.
Right. But as far as today's game, Maryland's 15-3-5, and it's not as good a record as we had last year. And you go, wow, Cal's really good. Well, they're 14-4-2. They've actually lost one more game and only had 14 wins. They get the home game, I guess, because they beat us.
I think they got look, we were 5 seed versus their 4 seed. Yeah. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Because that's the game to the Final Four. Form held. We're playing them.
Right.
And listen, Maryland might have had, if they move on and continue to win, their game against California Irvine in that second half. I was texting you frantically. Oh, yeah. And you could feel from my text that the game had turned around.
Right. At that point, I had to call you. I was on the way to the Redskin game, whatever night that was last
Sunday night.
Right.
And the game just turned around, and Maryland held on for dear life. But Zach Steffen made save after save after save to preserve that victory. And the other coach from Irvine just shook his head. Because they had beaten a lot of great teams. They had beaten 4 teams in the top 10. And Sosh was on the show last week in Baltimore and said, Bruce, this is an extremely tough task. It's going to take everything we have to win. It did. What's going to happen today? My prediction, I think they're going to steamroll through this team.
Really?
I really do. I mean, a steamroll in soccer could be 2-0,
right.
But I think they're going to dominate play. They were infuriated that they lost to this team. Right. Now, I don't know what happened out there, but Patrick told me, he said that the team was horrendous that day, and they still lost 3-2 in overtime.
Right.
So we'll see what happens.
So back out there at Edwards Stadium in Berkeley, if you win today, you get Virginia and Philadelphia in the Final Four in the College Cup next week.
What could be better? Didn't we just beat Virginia, right?
We could do that again.
Yeah, we beat them in
Gaithers in Germantown.
Right, in Germantown. Well, and then did Notre Dame survive?
Ooh, I don't know that one.
Okay, we'll find out.
But Virginia beat UConn last night.
Okay, so we would get Virginia again. And that would be another fitting end to ACC. The ends to the ACC never stop. But let's talk about the other games today because there's 2 huge games. We don't see that, or I don't see that Duke FSU is a game. To me, it's a walkover. They're not even in the league of.
But there's been so many miracles this year.
There's no miracle today. There is no miracle in Charlotte. That game is not going to be close. 29-point favorites.
How many people do you think are going to show up in Charlotte?
Well, I understand they what do they call it? They screened off the upper deck, tarped off the upper deck. Oh. So you'll get 20,000, 25,000.
That's one thing the ACC is going to have to fix if you really want to be successful. Is when you have a championship game and nobody shows up.
Well, they need to play it in a soccer stadium. All right. One of those 10,000 seat stadiums. Right. You know,
there's a good high school stadium somewhere that can.
They can't play these games in
NFL venues.
Well, I tell you what else. To me, it makes more sense that the team with the best record gets the home game,
and that's what they do with the Pac-12.
Yeah, I mean, what's wrong with that? Stanford's got to go to Arizona State today, and that's life. Arizona State had a better record, however they figure it out. And if that game was at Florida State today, they'd have 80,000 people, and it would seem like a
real game.
A real game, yeah. But there's no need to make it neutral. But you know what? That ain't our problem anymore. All right?
No.
Because we're not in the ACC.
Well, there's a Big Ten championship today. Who's that?
Mizzou and Auburn, all right? And Auburn, the miracles are run out. It's Cinderella for them. Now, they're favored. I'm not sure why. Mizzou's going into that game with a chip on their shoulder, and rightly so. And I do believe that Missouri's going to win today. How about you?
Boy, Auburn's had so many miracles. Gus Malzahn's been a real good coach for them. You know, he was there as the offensive coordinator when they won the national championship. I'm going to go contra. I'm going to take Auburn and one more miracle.
Well, it wouldn't be a miracle today because they're favored. And then the game I'm really looking forward to at 4 o'clock, Michigan State and Ohio State. I think Michigan State has the tools to beat Ohio State because of, I'm sorry about that, Tish, but Ohio State grad, one of our producers. We have dual producers today. We're lucky.
Yeah.
All right.
We have a deep bench. We have deep depth today.
Yeah, right. We definitely have a strong bench. All right. All right. But I think that the defensive line of Michigan State is going to slow down Ohio State. And Ohio State just doesn't seem to be able to stop anybody. So you're going to have a high score, maybe a medium scoring game, but it's tough when you're 12-0, although Urban Meyer, let's face it, whatever you want to say about him, he is a great coach.
Yep.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
So Michigan State has the one loss to Notre Dame. So this is the marquee game. You have a one-loss team and an unbeaten, and they're playing to go to the national championship. Out of
curiosity, we're going to assume Florida State's going to win, be in the championship game. But let's say Auburn loses. That really throws up the argument as to who deserves to go.
Right.
Now, Michigan State only has one loss. Do they get it over Auburn?
I think the way things have gone, probably not. How about the scenario of...
Please don't say Duke beating Florida State. Because it's not gonna...
Sure, I'll go. Fine, I'll go with that just to annoy you today.
That is annoying, man. It's not going to happen, so let's not waste the precious radio time that you pay so much for. Right?
Oh, you pay dearly as well. Could you get Auburn and Alabama out of this again somehow?
Heaven forbid. All right. I mean, number one, they would never live up to the match. But yeah, if everybody lost if Florida State lost, there's no way Duke goes. If Auburn wins and Ohio State loses, then you're talking about a one-loss Alabama team and a one-loss Michigan State team. Yeah, you could get it, but Duke would have to upset Florida State.
Which will never happen.
No, never happen.
But if it did, speaking of the rest of football here, I've just heard, as you have, Bruce, that Greg Gattuso, who has been the Maryland defensive line coach and the associate head coach, has just gotten the job at Albany.
Well, that's great for him. I feel great for him. He's a great guy, a great coach, and he's closer to Pittsburgh now, so he can be he can root for his Penguins and Steelers. Okay, but what a great guy. He's done a tough job at Maryland. He's done well. He's kept the things together. But look, he got a head coaching job, and look, a lot of people. At first, Brian Stewart seemed like a lock to get the job, and I notice he hasn't re-signed yet. Maybe he's being talked to as well. You have a lot of movement going on, a lot of movement with Peterson leaving
Boise State.
And there's a lot of openings right now.
And Steve Sarkisian going back to USC, and then that leaves Ed Ogeron.
He's out there. He's leaving, and so he's going to wind up.
Right.
Look, first of all, the firings haven't really occurred yet. We're down there last minute. Greg Caduso, great guy. Wish him the best of luck. 4:30 today, the Terps take on Cal. It's on Cal TV, so go to universityofcalifornia.com.
Right. It's Cal Bears. In the Washington Post list is www.calbears.com.
Right, and of course tomorrow, here we go, against GW. Game of the year for GW. Right. There'll be Foggy Bottom will travel.
G-Dub.
All right, we'll travel to play Maryland. I love that game. It's a great game, a great tournament for the children's charities, and Feinstein does a great job with it. So this is Bruce Posner signing off, waiting to see what bowl Randy Etzel and the Terps will go to. We're all excited. We shall see you next Saturday, as always, here on TerpTalk DC. Remember our big event at Atman's Deli Monday night. Kelly, one of the most trusted names in benefits, now offers payroll. KTBS Payroll provides a payroll solution that utilizes their innovative technology for greater accuracy, administrative efficiency, and compliance with regulatory requirements, such as the new Patient Protection and Affordable Care Acts. KTBS Payroll features management tools, reports, and services that relieve you of the details while giving you better control, ensuring you remain in compliance. Call KTBS today at 888-882-1487 to learn more about their integrated solution for payroll and benefits through KTBS Payroll. Fellowship of Christian Athletes is touching millions of lives, one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been helping coaches and athletes on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels to fulfill their God-given potential. FCA is the largest Christian sports organization in America and focuses on serving local communities by equipping, empowering, and encouraging people to make a difference. To learn more about the FCA in your area, call Mark Stevens at 301-363-8611 or visit their website, metromdfca.org. Are you looking for great seats? You want to see the Terps play Duke or Carolina? Want Oriole Yankee tickets, NASCAR, Van Halen, you name it. GreatSeats.com has them. Nothing beats having great seats, and you can find them by calling 800-853-SEAT or check out Great Seats ticket inventory at www.greatseats.com. Call 800-853-SEAT. Tell them the Terp Talk guy sent you. Nestled near College Park is one of Terp Talk's favorite spots, the Old Line Fine Wine, Spirits, and Bistro. I've had several lunches and dinners at the Old Line Bistro, and the atmosphere is fantastic. And the food is off the charts. What a great spot to go before or after a Terp game. Then there's the greatest selection of fine wines and beers, all at reasonable prices. At 11011 Baltimore Avenue on Route 1, check out the Old Line Bistro and say hello to my friend Larry Pendleton. Call 301-937-6999 for reservations or just stop in. That's the Old Line Bistro, 301-937-6999. Viner Consulting helps you get the most out of your business technology. We develop a technology plan for your business. There is much more than the run-of-the-mill break and fix service you are probably used to getting from your local IT tech. This is a real plan to move you forward, to bring in the latest technology at the best prices, strong support services, and a vision to lay out where you want your company to be down the road. And best of all, the plan is free to your company. Let us come and help you build your future today. Viner Consulting is a proud Microsoft partner, a Lenovo partner, and an HP partner. Conveniently based in Rockville, we service the Baltimore, Washington area. You can reach us at 240-599-0140 or on the web at www.vinerconsulting.com.
Have you been injured in a car accident, by medical error, while on the job, or because of the fault of another? Are your medical payments and paperwork piling up, or are you out of work and losing wages that you can't afford to lose, all because someone else was negligent? If so, get Get the representation and individual attention you deserve from the law firm of Grant Posner, 443-388-4777, or go to BeMoreLaw.com for your free consultation.
I'm Grant Posner. I began this firm with the belief that all clients should get the individual attention that they deserve. When you call my office, you deserve to speak directly to an attorney. Call today at 443-388-4777 or visit BeMoreLaw.com and schedule your free consultation with an attorney today. Get the individual attention and experience you deserve for all of your injury, traffic, or criminal legal needs. And don't forget, for personal injury cases, there are no legal fees or expenses unless we win. Call today, 443-388-4777 or BeMoreLaw.com.
Attention business owners. Circumstances force the best of businesses to ask callers to wait. KO Productions on-hold messages turn those wasted seconds into customer awareness, service, consideration, and your own profitability. Our on-hold messages are the most direct, economical, and personal links you can have with current and future customers. We'll generate more business for you on the spot, on the phone, on the double. Get complete details at koponhold.com, koponhold.com, or call Freddie from Boca at 800-229-9969, 800-229-9969.
The opinions expressed in the preceding paid program do not necessarily represent those of WJFK, CBS Radio, its employees, or sponsors.